All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Pledge of Allegiance, quickly. Everybody swallow. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, can I get approval of the agenda, please?
So moved.
Second. Okay, perfect. Any comments, any thoughts? Okay, perfect. Everybody, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Didn't think so. Okay, public comment? Anybody online? Nope. Okay. Finance Committee report, second budget vote warning.
So the Finance Committee met last Monday night after the regular meeting. The administration had provided us with a list of possible cuts. And so after some discussion, we chose to reduce the maintenance budget by $100,000. We're getting late enough in the year, you can't get, it's going to be hard to find contractors to do the work because those things should have already been signed. We reduced it by another $30,000. It was tuition. It was earmarked for, if I remember this right, it was for IAs that wanted to become teachers. So it was to help with that.
You flip to that side.
And then due to a kindergarten class of 4 next year in Orwell, we reduced one elementary teacher in Orwell, and we're going to combine, it's going to be a combined K1 classroom. 4 doesn't come close to our class size minimums. And luckily, there was only 13 kindergartners this year. So, it's a manageable class for next year. And we'll see what happens if more babies were born the year later or people move in. And then the other possible cut that we discussed, and we've decided to not go that way right now, was for 5th and 6th grade athletics and getting the towns to take that over. Like with basketball, Orwell took that back this year. So that's not on the school plan right now. Baseball is not done. 5th and 6th grade is all done by the town rec leagues. Bear Haven was willing to take it on. Castleton did not want to. So at this point, 5th and 6th grade athletics are still being funded by the school. And we'll have to see. Hopefully this is it for this year. So the budget amount the reduction came out to be $202,500.
Yep. Walter, can you flip to the next?
Sure.
Please.
I've got a question for clarification.
Sure.
Another constituent kind of called me on. I said something about the Orwell kindergarten sign up, and he said, we're not doing sign ups till next week. So then I was thinking, is it based on the pre-K numbers?
So census and pre-K, like they reach out to the families through birth records and people that they know of that are in the community.
I can clear that up.
And when does, that's a good question though. When does Child Find, they start that in the fall? The child, kind of like the Child Find where they start
it's in
searching.
the fall where
So that's when they start looking at birth records and move-ins as much as they can, and siblings and pre-K and all that. They start that in the fall.
Then they reach out to the families and verify if they are coming here, if they know they're coming here. But even if we were to pick up a couple more Orwell students, I mean, still 6, 7,
We're still looking too small for a teacher.
Yeah.
Correct.
Orwell is one of the towns that's still on the inside of the back cover of the town report lists every child that was born for the year
Yep.
in town. So it's a pretty easy number to follow.
Oh, Benson does too.
Okay, I mean, some just give a number without any, and Orwell still prints
The names.
Everybody.
Yep.
So, yeah, so
That's because it still fits on the back page.
it's tough because it's a little tiny book. You can't read anything, but it's there. So, yeah, so we're going to take this number back to the voters and hopefully the budget passes.
All right.
I got a question
Yes.
on this, the grade, fifth, sixth grade sports. So Orwell's doing their own, Fairhaven's doing their own.
No,
No.
What happened this year is Orwell boys basketball, Orwell wanted back, so that's what they were doing this year. But we were still doing the girls basketball.
Oh, so it's just,
and
okay.
it's just Orwell boys, and then Fairhaven, we did the 5-6 basketball and soccer. But Fairhaven said they'd be willing to pick up the basketball and then the soccer the year after, if we wanted to move it to rec, because Castleton and Fairhaven both have full-time rec directors.
The Castleton doesn't want to.
No, we're still in the process of talking to them about that, and so I think there's too many unknowns right now, because we want to make sure kids have a program.
Did Eric feel like we were jerking him around a little?
I'm not going to answer for him, but he was a little like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? I think we still need to have the conversation long-term about 5-6 athletics and where we're headed with that. If the towns do want to take it back, then how are we going to responsibly, turn that over? If they don't, then, that's fine too. But now we've kind of got our feet in both puddles.
Yep.
And so, I think we need some clear direction. So that's something that I think we need to discuss moving forward, maybe on another board agenda and have Eric present for that discussion.
What's Benson doing?
Benson has been joining the other schools.
So they're still doing that?
Yeah, they're still doing that, yeah.
Any other questions? All right, so I'd like a motion, please, to approve the warning, which states that approve the school board to expend $32,307,263. I love how they spell it out. $63, which is the amount the school board has determined necessary for the ensuing fiscal year. The Slate Valley Unified Union School District estimates this proposed budget, if approved, will result in per pupil education spending of $11,879.62, which is 2.72% higher than the per pupil education spending for the current year in Slate Valley, not state, in Slate Valley. 2.72. Yep, 2.72. Yep.
I'll move.
All right, any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Opposed? All right, motion passes. We have ourselves a warning for voting. We will have an information night on Monday, March 20th. 30th. I looked at the
Julie,
2026.
I don't know.
At 6:30.
This would be in order if it has to be warned, if we have to take it up under, next agenda. But I would like to make a motion sending a statement in an open letter to the governor that we don't like how he keeps kicking the can down the road with these, what do you call them, property tax buyouts.
Yep.
It
So-
hurt us this year, it's gonna hurt us more next year.
Yep. And it's hard to understand, right? Because we're passing a a warning, which is affecting what we know for numbers. And then next thing you know, you get your property tax and it has nothing to do with what we did anymore, right? It's
Is the motion
associated.
in order, or do we have to
So
warn it?
I think let's put it on the next, what?
Somebody want to draft something?
Well, let's
right?
put it on the next agenda for what we want to draft, like what we want to say, and then I'm happy to draft something with some specific kind of like topics that we want to make sure that we have in the open letter. And I can start doing that beforehand too, but let's put it on the agenda to discuss. Yeah. So we know what we want to say.
But definitely get it out well
Mhm.
before the session ends.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm putting that in the board
Yep.
agenda.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That'd be awesome. Thank you, Kurt. It's a good idea.
Yeah, that was the announcement.
Yep. All right.
Are you doing agenda building right now?
Not really, but sure, kinda, because we already, I mean, this was a special meeting, so we already
Right.
have an agenda going, but go ahead, tell me if there's something you're thinking.
Well, I would just really like to do what we had just talked about as far as the 5th and 6th grade athletics, to have something, drafted that's more specific to what we're thinking about for the coming year. Just because this has been a conversation ongoing for the last couple of years.
So we already know what it's gonna look like for the coming year.
I
You wanna
meant,
know-
I meant the following year after this.
Okay, all right. But also, I think I'd like some clarification, because like Peter brought up, and I wasn't really listening the first time maybe, but Orwell's only doing boys basketball. They're not doing girls.
Right.
So I
and
think it
that's
would be
what I'm
nice to
saying.
know what it looks like right now, as well as what we would like it to look like.
Yeah, I would actually like to go back a couple of years maybe and say, this is what it
Oh.
looked like, in this year, and then in this year, and then this is what we're proposing it would look like. So, somebody
Yeah, and
has
I think,
understanding of that.
Yeah.
we had that from a finance meeting in
I think we had it a couple of years ago, if we just look back.
October in Orwell, Eric came. So I will pull all of that stuff out.
Yeah, like the history of 5th and 6th.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Just because, as I said, we've discussed it a number of times, and we always kind of come to this place where it's like, should we, shouldn't we? And I think
And
the more
I-
finite, information might help us.
I also think, not to speak for Eric, but he believes a rec program would better serve the kids than we can serve them because of all the school rules. They don't get as much playing time under the VPA for 5, 6 as they would if they were in a rec program. So I think there's some philosophy things I think he feels pretty passionate about as well.
I also think some of us.
Again, that would be a great thing to add to, the conversation, right?
Yep.
I mean, so that we're not doing this in a, just kind of haphazardly as the budget comes by and we say, oh, here's the amount that we want for 5th and 6th grade athletics. But, as I said, we always had this kind of muddy conversation. I'd like it to be more, succinct, as it's based on this. And these are the reasons why we want to do what we want to do.
Also, the history of it. I mean, some of us have been on this long enough. We remember when it was all rec and not part of school,
Yeah.
and then it became part of school, and then it went back to. I mean, there's a history of 5th and 6th kind of back and forth-ish. So
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm saying that. Thank you.
yep, good idea. Anybody else? All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, we got Peter, and then Rachel. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are adjourned, and then the next meeting's at 6 o'clock.